Hi, and welcome to Millennium Computers online 5-minute tutorials. Today we're going to look at the question of how to build a simple graph. So first and foremost, we need to execute a report, and I've chosen to execute the Human Resource Reporting Employee Summary Report. And you can see right off the bat, this is way too much data to graph. And in fact, it's more data than I need. So really what I'm looking for here is I'd like to build a graph that will show me a visual depiction by class of a gender breakdown of my employees. So first thing we need to build a simple graph is we need an X and a Y axis. So if I've already decided I'd like to separate my report by class, let's go ahead and make class the X axis. So all we're doing is clicking on the header, scroll down to the X axis, select it, and you can see right away a little digital indicator appears on the header, and that's showing us that this has now been pinned as our X axis. Now we also need a Y axis, and what I'd like to do is group my employees and make that the Y axis parameter. Now there's a problem with that because I'm going to get a message here that says the Y axis must be numeric. Okay, so really what I'm looking for is not a list of employees. I want a count of employees. So we can make this happen using the Advanced Options tab. Now, if you've seen other tutorials, we do explore the advanced options a little bit more in depth. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the Advanced Options. And some of you may have seen this before. This is really the background of all the headers, all the group functions, and the column sorting that you can customize. Now, what we're going to do first off here is deselect all the columns. And now that makes it nice and clean in terms of a starting point, and we can start building out our report with just those parameters we need to build the graph. So let's go ahead and select Employee ID, and we know we want gender, and we know we want to break down by class. So the problem with our employee ID field is that it was generating just a straight up list, and what we actually want is a count. So if we select the group function of count and re-execute this report, we're now given a count of employees rather than a list. We have our breakdown of gender, we have our class, that is also still represented by our x-axis. Now what we can do is actually click on the Count tab and apply the y-axis indicator here. So the report is now built, but we need to graph this. So let's go ahead and click on the Graph tab. And you can see right away, the first thing you need to do is select a graph type. So we have the option of bar chart, pie chart, or line chart. You also have the option of normal, side-by-side, and stacked. What we're going to do is build a stacked report because we want to add an additional group value. We want to group our employees by gender. And let's go ahead and give this a title. So we'll call this gender by class. And you can see already the x-axis is the class. The y-axis is employee ID, and I think instead of ID we should say employee count. And let's go ahead and graph this and see what happens. So right away, here's our breakdown. We have gender by class, very visual representation of class on the bottom, our count along the side, and we also have an interactive graph whereby we can drill down on each section to bring us to the supporting detail. All fast functionality remains where this graph can be clicked on to find the supporting detail. So we have, when you hover over it, you'll see for salary union employees, 163 females, and salary union 72 males. That's a quick way to create a graph, which you can now save as a pinned report and add to your dashboard. And we'll be talking about dashboarding in another tutorial. Thanks for joining, and we will talk to you soon.